Oh shit, I gotta start the show.
I'm getting by with my wicked ways. I'm loading up and I'm taking names.
Woo! Alright, so we got week 5 in the books, starting up week 6. We've got my team doing wicked good. I've got my new candle for this week. Wicked Pumpkin. It's wicked. We're gonna have a wicked show today. And that's all I got, so I'm gonna pause it. So now that I was able to recoup, I did recall what I wanted to say. Things are doing well, and things are wicked good, because I'm sitting at 4-1, probably looking like a team that should be no better than 3-2, potentially even 2-3. So I've had to deal with a lot of adversity, but things just keep working out for me. So I can't complain too much sitting there in second place. However, we'll get to the matchups and see how those actually play out as we go forward. So I wanted to start off with an interesting matchup here. First one of the week we're going to go over is a Shiny Poop, Scott's team, versus the Hand of God, Nick's team. Now what I thought was interesting here, great QB matchups here. Drew Brees at home, can't beat him against the Carolina team, who's not as good as everybody thought. However, Odell Beckham, Julio Jones don't have great matchups. Odell obviously not playing as well as he's used to. Julio's banged up, and he's got to go against Richard Sherman. I'm actually really liking Nick's receivers this week. Love the A-Rob matchup. Jordan Matthews is going to get back on track. However, when we take a look at the running backs on Nick's team, he's got Todd Gurley, hasn't been able to get it going all season, and Latavius Murray, hardly even worth starting anymore. I think that's where Nick's problems lie, is in his running back position. He doesn't really have anything else on his bench except Fozzie Whitaker, and we know how that worked out for him last week, as he was unable with 2 guys to get 10 points and come out with the win. Thank you, Nick. I love that play. Thank you for leaving Cameron Artis Payne on the free agency list. Scott's got the same problem with Matt Forte, though, and that's what's interesting here, is that they're both weak at one running back. They both got a pretty solid number 2. I like Carlos Hyde a lot, especially with the Buffalo game coming up. I think they're going to be running the ball. I think Cap's going to do all right. Can't be much worse than Blaine Gabbert, right? So they're going to be running it. I like Carlos Hyde this week. Jimmy Graham is back on track. Julius Thomas is not the same Julius Thomas he was in Denver. That's where it really ends up. So I think Scott, from tight end down, Scott's got the advantage over Nick, where above that, I think it was actually a pretty close matchup up until then. So I will have to, for this first matchup, give the win to a Shiny Poop. Let's get to the second matchup here. I was looking at Sandusky Daycare. We got Sam. We got Kyle's team. Kyle, pick a goddamn team name, you son of a bitch. I'm going to keep saying that every single video until you fix it. But while I get to that, Kyle can't pick the right quarterback, and he's got really big struggles at running back. I think this is going to be an easy pick for me. However, this is a team that I like, an owner I like, Kyle, because he doesn't listen to those bullshit projections that Yahoo gives. He's benching Travis Benjamin in an extremely tough matchup. I love that. He's playing Will Fuller against Indianapolis. I love that matchup as long as Will Fuller is good to go. And what the hell is with Brandon Marshall only getting 9.5 points? Eric Decker is out. Quincy Enunwa, an unproven guy. Brandon Marshall is going to be a target monster, and he is going to get 15 balls a game for the rest of the season, and he's getting 9.5 projected points. I don't care who Brandon Marshall is playing. He is enormous. He's fast. He's got big hands. He is getting way more than 9.5 points. You heard it here. I'm guaranteeing he gets more than 9.5 points here. Jarvis Landry, same thing. Great matchup. Dolphins are going to be down the entire game, and they're going to be throwing the ball the entire game. I expect Jarvis Landry to get a lot of targets. I love Kyle's receivers. Those Yahoo projections are absolute bullshit. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets at least 30 points between the two of them, potentially even more. Problem is you can't rely on Matt Stafford or Eli because of their inconsistency. I'm hoping Kyle, for once, gets the right quarterback and gives himself a chance, because as long as Colby Fleener here is going to be a huge X factor. We saw Colby Fleener, he's got 2 home games. One, he didn't do shit. I think he had 0.6 points. Another one, he went off. So it depends which Colby Fleener shows up. I think if you get the good Colby Fleener and Kyle picks the right quarterback, he's got a huge chance at winning. And problem is, those are 2 conditions I don't feel comfortable going with. I want to take a look at Sam's team. Russell Wilson, we know he's a stud. Demaryius Thomas, also, I don't like that 9.9 projection. I think he's higher than that also, especially in a game that they're going to try and keep up with San Diego. Potentially, depends how San Diego plays. That's a bit of a game I'm unsure about, but I do like Demaryius Thomas with more than the 9.9. Tyler Lockett, let's be honest, he's going to be the third option now, and you got Jimmy Graham and Doug Baldwin to throw to. However, this is where I want to make things interesting. Sam, I told you I was going to do this. I'm looking you right in the eye, and I'm pointing right at you, Sam. Here's my yearly curse. Ezekiel Elliott. He's got this game against Green Bay. Those are some dirty motherfuckers out there. And then he's got a bye, and then he's got the Philadelphia Eagles. He's going to go down either in the Philly game or the Green Bay game, and I'm cursing Ezekiel Elliott. I might have to have my sacrificial player on my team to make that happen. I'm just saying, I'm 2 for 2, and I'm about to make it 3 for 3. He's been too good for a rookie, and we all know the Dallas Cowboys. We got Dez coming back. Everything in Dallas happens with drama. So Dez is going to come back. Ezekiel Elliott's going to go down, and it's going to be on Dak's shoulders, and he's got to prove if he's legit or not. All while they're going to deal with Tony Romo coming back, getting healthy in the same time frame. It's going to be craziness, and that's exactly what's going to happen. I'm cursing Ezekiel Elliott. Sam, you shouldn't have messed with me. You should have done that deal earlier we talked about. So I'm sorry I had to do this to you. You got about 2 more good games with Ezekiel Elliott. All right. I've said all I need to say here. I'm picking Sam, but it's not without some real injuries for him. And so moving on to the Hillbilly Boners, Ryan's team, we got the Team Rectum Blasters, we got Zuck's team. And this move right here, if it sticks, is going to be the ballsy play of the week, where we've got Ryan playing Tevin Coleman against the Seattle Seahawks over Melvin Gordon against the Denver Broncos. Neither of those are very good matchups. But he's got a guy who scored a touchdown every single game, and he's starting him over Tevin Coleman, who's going to get about 10 touches for the entire game against the Seattle Seahawks. So I don't know what Pembroke thinks he knows, but I can't wait to see if he's actually going to go through with this. And we'll see. Now I feel so bad for Zuck. He's 0-5. He's had the worst luck. His team is not playing very well. He's had injuries. He's got Jonathan Stewart back. We'll see if Jamal Charles plays. I don't know why Tyrod Taylor has 18 projected points. Are the 49ers really that bad? I don't know. I've got to have some hope with Colin Kaepernick coming back, but he's certainly disappointed last year, so I don't have a whole lot of reason to believe he's going to be any better than what we saw last year. Maybe Chip Kelly will put something into him. So Amari Cooper and Antonio Brown, you can't beat that matchup. Alshon Jeffrey, I mean, I guess you got to start him, but you're giving Brandon Marshall 9.5, and you're giving Alshon Jeffrey 10 points. Yahoo is on some shit, and I don't know what it is, but they need to get their act together because these projections are ridiculous. DeAndre Hopkins against Indianapolis should be a good matchup, but we don't know what Jamal Charles is going to get. We don't know how healthy Jonathan Stewart is. He missed a few games with a hamstring injury. I can't imagine they're going to give him a full load for this game, getting right off an injury, especially something that can be as tender as a hamstring, so we don't know what's going to go on there. Ryan's got, I know he's got Gary Barnage, and he's got, Sammy Coates there at flex, both questionable. He's got guys to replace him if he needs to. I have no question that Ryan's going to continue his streak of winning. I don't know if he's on a streak, actually. He lost the Monday night game, but Ryan could easily be 4-1 right now. Poor Zuck, I have him going to be going to 0-6 this week. I can't help but feel bad for him. With a decent team, I'll add. Okay, so we got the next game. Fuck Goodell, Kevin, Tarzana Nomads of Los Angeles, Alex, and this is going to be my wicked upset of the week. Got Alex projected at 5 points over, and unbelievably, Crabtree is only 8.4 points. I think that's ridiculous. John Brown is a little overrated. I like Christian Michael in that game. He's only got 8.4 projected. Yahoo doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. They should hire someone like me, and I'll help put those projections where they need to go. I'm looking at Kevin's team. Andrew Luck, he's going to be, I think, a little bit protected, a lot better against a Houston team. I know their defense is halfway decent. I think Andrew Luck's going to have a big game in this week because I think Houston's going to also be putting up a lot of points, and Lamar Miller's going to get his touchdown this week finally. Jordy Nelson's going to be huge against Dallas. Jeremy Maclin, the only way that Kansas City is going to keep up is they're going to throw it. Jeremy Maclin's going to have a solid week. Theo Riddick, he's going to be very active for the Detroit Lions. Travis Kelce, I think he's going to get a score this week. Chris Hogan, very underrated, only 4.5 points projected. I think he's going to do a lot better than that this week. I think he showed a lot of promise being the deep threat for the Patriots. I think that's going to keep going. Alex's team seems to be pretty healthy. He's got a couple question marks. Mark Ingram's fine. Gronk is fine. T.Y. Hilton is fine. They're all just guys getting rest. I don't know what it is. Something's telling me to pick Kevin this week. I can't believe Kevin is 3-2. I also can't believe Alex is 1-4. Something's just telling me this is going to even out, and Alex should be going to 2-4 while Kevin goes to 500. I'm picking Kevin this week in a big upset, and I really can't justify it other than my gut is telling me to go with Kevin, so I'm going with the gut pick. Fuck Goodell, Kevin. We got the Adult Swim game going up next. We got Steel Curtain 69 Shasberry Steelers, and we got Studs Inflated Balls. I don't think I've ever seen a projection for a non-quarterback as high as Le'Veon Bell's this week against what could be the worst team in the league, the Miami Dolphins. Le'Veon Bell's projected to get 22.7 points. I don't think that's outrageous. I'm looking at the rest of Stud's team. He's got almost the perfect matchup he can possibly have. This has the looks of a perfect storm game against a game that Sean has pretty solid matchups too. He's got to choose between Tom Brady and Ben Roethlisberger. Boy, what a tough job that is. I think he's making the right pick going with Ben Roethlisberger. Julian Edelman's going to get a lot of looks from Tom Brady. I like Emmanuel Sanders going against that depleted San Diego Chargers secondary. Terrence West had a great game last week. Eddie Lacy, a little bit banged up, but he's going to play. And I actually love the idea of the flex here, going with Michael Thomas in what is expected to be another game where Drew Brees probably throws for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. So I think that's a very interesting play, and depending on who Tom Brady or Drew Brees is taking a look at, that could be a solid flex play. You know, for a week that Sean has great matchups, he's just playing probably the only team here that I would not want to be stuck playing this week. So I feel kind of bad for Sean. He's looking good so far, 3-2. Stud's slacking. He's had a little bit of a losing streak, I believe. I've got to go with Stud just based on these matchups. I think this game is going to be very high scoring for both sides. I'm giving Stud a slight advantage just based on his complete team of having favorable matchups. Nothing against Sean this week. Sean has a very tough matchup is all. That's what I'm doing this week, living on a prayer. I've got a lot of guys that are banged up. Doesn't look like Jordan Reed's going to play. I don't have a second wide receiver. Finally used my waiver. I'm living on a prayer with Cameron Meredith here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have a flex. I've got a Swiss cheese team right now. I've got some solid players. I think Lamar Miller's finally going to get his first touchdown, maybe even multiple touchdowns. Frank Gore's been surprisingly good. But if Jordan Reed doesn't play, I'm missing half of my squad. Things are not looking good for Moan, the number 1 team right now, as I've recognized before. Certainly don't deserve to be 4-1 in my team. I'm not going to complain. Certainly, definitely not going to complain at 4-1. But at Moan's team, he's got Blake Bortles going against a bad Chicago team. Brandon Cooks in what's going to be a shootout game only for New Orleans. I don't think Carolina's going to keep up. David Johnson, DeMarco Murray, Greg Olson. I'm trying to find a bad player on Moan's team. I don't see it other than Golden Tate. Yeah, He's got to play what appears to be Sterling Shepard, maybe a wide receiver. He may go Golden Tate. I welcome him to play Golden Tate. Tyrell Williams not going to do shit. I don't know who he's going to play at flex. I don't think it matters because even if he plays the team he's got right now, I think it's going to be close. So just Moan adding those two guys. I give Moan the advantage. I think it's certainly in Moan's favor to win this game. I'm living on a prayer. I do think I have a chance. If Cameron Meredith is the same Cameron Meredith we saw last week, he was well worth a waiver. I think he's going to have to be the guy going the rest of the way if I have a chance to win. So we'll see what happens. Fuck it. I'm going to go for it. We'll see. I'm living on a prayer, but I am picking Moan in this game. I do give myself a shot. However, I do feel it is a distant one. All right, gentlemen and Kevin, those are my picks for this week. That's it for me. Desperation week. We'll see what happens. Just got to keep the positivity going here. Good luck, everyone.
What is it then? It's desperation.